The storm is here, and in episode 7 of Outlander, Blood of My Blood, the calm is shattered. Shadows of betrayal, whispers of forbidden love, and a shocking choice that could change everything. This is the moment fans have been waiting for. The preview has dropped, and it's filled with clues, questions, and twists that will keep us guessing. So let's step inside the fire, unravel the secrets, and see what's truly waiting in episode 7. Episode 6 left us standing on the edge of a cliff, both literally and emotionally. The world of Outlander, Blood of My Blood, is built on the fragile ties of family, honor, and survival, and every decision feels like a blade drawn in the dark. Before we break apart the episode 7 preview, we need to remember where things were left, because STARZ has carefully planted seeds that are now ready to explode. The last episode gave us a slow build of tension, a reminder that not every battle is fought with swords or pistols. Some are fought with silence, glances, and choices. We saw relationships pushed to the breaking point. Characters who once seemed loyal started to waver, caught between duty and desire. And those who once carried secrets now find their truths threatening to break free. What makes Outlander so gripping isn't just the sweeping landscapes or the grand costumes, it's the way small decisions ripple outward until they become tidal waves. As episode 6 closed, we were left with more questions than answers. What's next for Jaime's legacy? How far will these characters go to protect what they love, and how much will they sacrifice along the way? The tone has shifted. We're no longer in the quiet before the storm. We are standing in the eye of it. And episode 7 promises to deliver the thunder. The official preview gives us just enough to feel uneasy, like watching the sky darken before a downpour. In those few seconds of footage, we catch fleeting images, a look of despair, a confrontation in the shadows, and a moment that hints at betrayal. STARZ has always been clever with their previews, giving just enough to ignite fan theories without revealing the full fire. And episode 7's preview is no exception. It's crafted to make us wonder who will rise, who will fall, and who will be left broken in the ashes. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. In past episodes, we've seen how the writers build tension with subtle foreshadowing. A single line of dialogue, a passing glance, or even the way the camera lingers on a character can mean everything later on. The preview for episode 7 is filled with these kinds of visual cues. There's one particular shot, barely a second long, that has fans buzzing. A character stands alone, their face half in shadow. Is this a moment of deep reflection, or the calm before they make a decision that could tear families apart? These are the little details that make Outlander so rewarding to analyze, and why the preview feels so electric. The setup for episode 7 is clear. This will not be a calm, transitional episode. This is where storylines collide. It's where all the whispers and hints from earlier episodes finally start to roar. And the most shocking part? The preview suggests that loyalties will be tested in ways we haven't seen yet this season. It isn't just about battles on the field, it's about the war within the heart. So as we look ahead, we know one thing for sure: episode 7 is the turning point. It's where choices can no longer be undone, where characters will have to stand in the light or hide in the dark. And for us, the audience, it's the perfect storm-shocking, emotional, and unforgettable. The preview for episode 7 of Outlander, Blood of My Blood, is like a riddle, short, sharp, and deliberately mysterious. STARZ has given us flashes of scenes, but if you pause and study each frame, you realize that nothing is accidental. Every expression, every line of dialogue, and even the silence between moments has been chosen to stir questions. Let's break down what these glimpses actually mean. The first striking moment in the preview is the tone. Right from the opening shot, there is no calm or beauty to ease us in. Instead, the music is sharp, pulsing, and urgent. The screen is filled with faces marked by fear, suspicion, and anger. You can tell instantly that this episode is not about preparation, it's about confrontation. One scene shows a character standing in what looks like candlelight, their eyes fixed on someone off-screen. The silence in that shot is heavy, as if words are too dangerous to speak. That stillness says more than a full monologue could. It tells us that trust has been broken, and that one wrong move will spark chaos. Another unforgettable highlight is the moment of betrayal hinted at. STARZ doesn't show us exactly what happens, but there is a hand reaching out, an exchange of looks, and then a cut to someone walking away into the shadows. It's a blink and you miss it moment, but it speaks volumes. This could be the episode where alliances snap, and the fragile bonds between characters crumble. Betrayal has always been one of the great engines of Outlander's drama, and here it looks like it may take center stage once again. The question is not just who will betray, but who will pay the price. Then we have the glimpse of conflict-sharp words exchanged in a crowded hall. We hear voices raised, a challenge thrown down, but we don't see the resolution. That's deliberate. The preview wants us to imagine the worst, to wonder if this confrontation ends in a duel, in blood, or in silence. What's important is that it reveals a fracture in the community, one that cannot easily be healed. In previous episodes, disagreements were contained, hushed, pushed aside for survival. But in episode 7, those disagreements are too big to ignore. This is the moment where private resentments become public. Battles. There's also a softer moment in the preview, but don't be fooled. It's a scene of intimacy, of two characters speaking quietly in private. Their words are not clear, but their body language tells us everything. One leans in, searching for comfort, while the other holds back, torn by hesitation. That tension suggests that love itself will be tested. Will this bond hold under the pressure of betrayal and conflict, or will it shatter like glass? Outlander has always been about love as much as war, and episode 7 seems to be asking the hardest question of all: how much can love endure before it breaks? The preview also drops a haunting visual and image of a character isolated, framed against storm clouds. It's the kind of imagery the show uses to symbolize fate, a reminder that these stories are not just about personal choices, but about destiny. That single shot feels like a warning. Someone's journey is about to take a dark turn. Whether it's a fall from grace, a moment of death, or the weight of sacrifice, we don't know yet. But the framing makes it clear. Episode 7 is about consequences. Perhaps the most shocking detail is what we don't see. STARZ has held back. A major figure is absent from the preview entirely. The silence speaks louder than their presence would have. When a character vanishes from a preview, it usually means one of two things. Either they're at the heart of the twist the show wants to hide, or their fate is too shocking to even hint at. That absence creates suspense and forces us to watch the episode with our nerves on edge, waiting for the moment when the missing piece falls into place. So, when we gather all these highlights together, a picture begins to form. Episode 7 is not a bridge episode, it's an eruption. The preview promises betrayal, heartbreak, and open conflict, but it also suggests something deeper. The imagery of shadows, silence, and storm clouds tells us that this episode is about choices that cannot be undone. Once these characters step into the fire, they cannot walk back out unchanged. And for us, as viewers, that means a journey into the heart of drama, where every glance, every whispered word, and every unspoken secret becomes a weapon. Episode 7 of Outlander, Blood of My Blood, feels less like another step forward and more like a doorway into the storm. The preview has already teased betrayal, conflict, and quiet heartbreak, but what truly matters now are the outcomes. The show has always thrived on choices, those impossible decisions where no one walks away untouched. If episode 6 set the stage and the preview pulled back the curtain, then episode 7 is where the play begins in full force. Let's dive into the predictions and theories about what could be waiting for. One of the strongest theory centers on the idea of loyalty being tested to its breaking point. From the clues in the preview, it's clear that one character will make a choice that feels like betrayal to those around them. The question is, why? In the world of Outlander, betrayal is rarely simple. It's not usually driven by malice, but by desperation, survival, or hidden love. That's what makes it so devastating. If the character we saw retreating into the shadows is indeed choosing a new path, it might be because they are protecting someone else. That creates a ripple effect. Those who feel abandoned may lash out, and those who think they've gained an ally may discover they're holding on to a poisoned gift. Another major theory revolves around the absence of a key character from the preview. When STARZ deliberately leave someone out, it often means their storyline is about to explode. Could this be the episode where a long-standing secret is finally revealed? The way the camera lingers on certain faces in the teaser suggests that truths are about to be pulled into the light. Secrets in Outlander don't stay hidden forever. When they surface, they usually come with blood, tears, or heartbreak. Fans are already speculating that this could tie back to past promises or forbidden love threads that have been woven into the story quietly, waiting for the right moment to unravel. Episode 7 feels like that moment. Conflict is another certainty. We saw raised voices, a challenge thrown, and tension so thick it could break. What if this episode pushes that conflict into something more dangerous? A duel, perhaps, or a betrayal on the battlefield? The history of Outlander shows us that the writers love to use these mid to late season episodes as turning points. This is when characters who once stood side by side suddenly find themselves pointing blades at each other. If episode 7 carries that weight, then the fallout will shape not just this episode but the rest of the season. Love is also under fire. The private moment shown in the preview between two characters hinted at distance, hesitation, and doubt. That hesitation could grow into heartbreak. What if this is the episode where love falters under the weight of duty and survival? Outlander has always been brutally honest about the cost of love in times of war and political upheaval. Sometimes love is strong enough to endure, but sometimes it becomes the very weakness that enemies exploit. If the preview is any indication, episode 7 may show us a love story strained to its limit. And then there's the storm imagery. One figure alone against the clouds is not just artistic framing, it's a symbol. Storms in Outlander are rarely just weather. They represent destiny, the inevitable crash of choices. The storm could mean that one character's fate is sealed. Perhaps this is the episode where a beloved figure meets their downfall, not in a blaze of glory, but in the quiet, tragic way that Outlander handles loss. That single shot may be warning us that sacrifice is coming. Finally, the biggest prediction is that episode 7 will serve as the season's turning point. It's the place where all the threads tighten, where secrets clash with open conflict, and where nothing can ever return to how it was before. Every season of Outlander has that one episode, the one that fans talk about for years. Episode 7 might be that chapter for Blood of My Blood. It may not give us every answer, but it will leave us shaken, questioning loyalties, and desperate for the finale. What's coming next is not just another step forward in the story, it's the moment the ground splits beneath our feet. Betrayal will feel personal, love will feel fragile, and choices will carve scars that no one can escape. The preview gave us a glimpse, but the storm itself is waiting. And when it breaks, the world of Outlander will never be the same. The journey through episode 7 of Outlander. Blood of My Blood is not just about what we see on the screen, it's about what lingers after. When the preview ends, you're left with an echo, a kind of unsettled silence that makes you wonder what's going to break and who will be left standing in the ruins. That's the power of this series. It doesn't just tell a story. It pulls us into the storm, forces us to feel the weight of choices, and dares us to imagine the fallout before it ever happens. Episode 7 is shaping up to be more than a simple chapter. It feels like the heartbeat of the season, the pulse that drives everything else forward. Every shadow in the preview, every trembling word, every secret glance, it's all pointing toward a collision that cannot be stopped. And when those storylines crash together, it won't just be characters who feel the blow. We, the audience, will feel it too. Because Outlander has always asked us to live alongside its characters, to carry their heartbreak as if it were our own. But here's what makes it even more fascinating. Episode 7 is not giving us comfort. There's no promise of safety, no guarantee of survival. Instead, it's giving us tension, uncertainty, and the kind of silence that comes right before thunder. That's what makes it so addictive. We're not just watching events unfold, we're bracing ourselves, waiting for the ground to split open. This is why so many fans can't stop theorizing, can't stop rewinding the preview, can't stop looking for that one detail that will unlock the truth. And this is where you, the fans, become part of the story. Because every theory matters. Every guess, every prediction, every passionate debate in the comments keeps the world of Outlander alive between episodes. The writers give us shadows, but it's the community of viewers that brings those shadows into the light. So, as we stand here on the edge of episode 7, ask yourself, who do you trust? Who do you fear? And whose fate will keep you awake at night until the episode finally drops? Now let's be honest. The preview was carefully crafted to make us question everything. Some characters may surprise us by proving stronger than we imagined. Others may fall in ways that feel almost unbearable. And in the end, that's the genius of Outlander. It doesn't give us easy answers. It forces us to wrestle with the same doubts and fears the characters face. Episode 7 will not just entertain, it will haunt, it will challenge. And it will leave us desperate for what comes next. So here's the invitation. Share your theories. What do you think the storm imagery means? Who do you believe will betray, and who will hold fast to loyalty? Which character's silence in the preview feels the loudest to you? The beauty of this moment is that none of us know for sure. We are all standing at the same cliff's edge, staring into the storm, waiting to see what will emerge. And your voice, your perspective, might be the one that unlocks a truth the rest of us missed. Before you go, make sure you're ready for the journey ahead. Subscribe, stay connected, and join the conversation as we continue to unravel each secret that STARZ lays before us. Because episode 7 is only the beginning of the storm, the finale is still ahead, and if history has taught us anything, it's that the most shocking moments are always saved for last. So hold on tight. Episode 7 is coming, and it will not wait for anyone. The question is, when the storm passes, who will still be standing? And how will we, as viewers, ever recover from what we're about to witness?